So, hey there, Libras, welcome. All right, so my Libras, we are going to do whatever pops in tonight. Okay, so this reading is going to be however it flows. I did do one pre shuffle for you, mostly because I'm really loving this deck, and anytime I want to research a little bit more information because a deck is new to me, I will always do the pre-shuffle and shuffle off screen. And so you guys got the Six of Pentacles to start this reading. This is highlighted by meerkats. And granted, I know that the meerkats, as soon as I looked at this, what I was singing in my head is the I Like to Move It song, which I think that was all about the ring-tailed lemurs in that children's film. But this made me think of that. So the meerkats make me think of this. And the thing is, with this Six of Pentacles, the big message that this card is conveying is cooperation puts everybody ahead, and we all have our own role to play. And at this point in time, they say that these three lemurs meerkats are sitting here keeping watch basically for any signs of danger so that the others can safely hunt. And so they are basically the lookouts right now. So they have a different role to play, but it's every bit as integral and every bit as important. Basically, who you are in a situation, or who someone is in a situation with you, to be equal doesn't mean that we're the same. Being equal means we all play our uniquely different roles, and we all have equal value and equal worth in one another's eyes. And so there will be times when one person doesn't have everything that they need, so the other person steps up and fills in that gap, and then vice versa. This is talking about you may be being much more charitable towards someone, or right now, perhaps you're the one who has to allow yourself to graciously receive someone else's assistance. Whatever this is, it all comes back full circle. And that's why it's a beautiful dance and it's a beautiful energy flow. It's not about like penny pinching down to the dime of, okay, I owe this much, you owe that much. No, it's that sometimes I pick up all the tab, the other time somebody else does, but we flow and we reciprocate, and we each have times where we step up and we play our role and someone else does not for the moment, but we pick up the slack, and then roles reverse, and it's vice versa. So this Six of Pentacles is a little bit, it's not about like, okay, I give you only my half and you give me your half and now we're equal. No, it's about, to be equal means we can flow back and forth. And there's going to be times in life where we have a lot to give and we can share a ton. And then there's times where we need help, and we got to be comfortable accepting help. So I'm not sure which side of that you might be on right now, but let's take a look at that, Libra. I think that's beautiful. Actually, you know what? I'm going to take instead a message from the ancestors here. Ancestral spirits. What is this in reference to, please? What is it for Libra to think about on this note? Are you receiving or are you giving? Reconnect with Mother Earth. Plant, garden, harvest. Some of you may be digging into your earth muffin energy here. Some of you are very much about creating an abundant place, like as a sanctuary for other creatures, for other people. Some of you are really ready to invest. You may be, I don't know why I get this, but you see the two butterflies? This could also be that your energy is kind of like this. You may be someone who comes across as very earthy, very nurturing, very free-spirited, very wild, and people who need to transform make their way toward you. This may be evidence that you have been helping others transform. It may be one person in particular, or again, it could be the reverse. It could be that right now, Libra, you want to go into the arms of someone who's very earthy, very nurturing, very Mother Earth, Mama Spirit. You may be someone who is like, you're simplifying your life and you want to connect. I feel like whoever this is, it's somebody who, okay, So I have a nudist colony in my mind right now. Somebody who would be like, yeah, of course I would totally go to one of those, which I would totally go to one of those. I have gone before. But this is like a comfort zone with that, because it's like, what is there to be ashamed of? You know, it's just human life. But I feel like that's like the rolling energy here. You want to be that free. You want to just feel very comfortable in your own skin, feel comfortable with someone that you're interacting with, feel like you are a part of this very like natural flow. This isn't about money, though. When you're that relaxed, it's funny how those things kind of start to grow anyway. This is like getting in touch with, it says plant, garden, harvest. All that greenery can talk about any area of our life that we grow. And certainly that can be money as well. But it just feels like you may be very, very ready to relax strict boundaries and instead just be more like go with the flow, more natural, accepting and loving of yourself. I brought up nudist colony because that's what came to my mind, so I got to say it, but it's like accepting and loving your body exactly as you are, knowing that you're beautiful, knowing that every scar, every line, everything on your body is exactly where it's supposed to be. It is a part of your life story, and it is an amazing vehicle that our spirit gets to drive around in this life. Our body permits us to experience the world with some of those, 3D sensations, but ultimately it is our spiritual self that gets to live in this body. There is this huge level of acceptance that either you are giving to someone, you're giving that vibe off to someone who needs that comfort, or this is the person that you want to gravitate toward because you are in need of that reassurance and that comfort zone and that safe space. Oh, I love this. For some reason, I feel like this has much to do with really feeling good about who we are, feeling powerful in ourselves, feeling strong, feeling accepted, feeling, I don't know, there is something about our physique in this, which is interesting. I very, very, very rarely, physique has come up like twice in the last week, and I don't think I've ever really had that pop up in a reading before. Knight of Wands in the reverse, Ace of Coins in the upright. We are starting fresh. We're starting new with a newfound belief in ourselves, the newfound comfort zone, with a new certainty. Okay, so this is where we had uncertainty before. Are we attractive enough? Can we be chosen and be chosen for the long term, or are we always destined to have people walk in and out of our lives that just come in and basically use us like an ATM machine, where they make withdrawals of our self-esteem, they withdraw our emotions, they withdraw our money, they withdraw our resources, and they never give anything back? No, this is saying that is not what you're going to encounter anymore. You're nobody's ATM. And the fact of it is, you might be having this strike you that, wait a second, if somebody or many people in my life have always used me as an ATM, where they came to me to take some of my energy, maybe it's because I was providing that kind of resource to them. They were bereft. They needed to feel secure in themselves. They needed to know that I accepted them, that I thought they were beautiful. I helped them regain their self-esteem. But you know what? Now's the time that I get to have somebody who comes in my world. That's the only reason someone ever used you as an ATM, is because they were lacking and they used you to fill themselves up. And so they might have flitted in and out of your life. But at this point, there is a turning of the tide. This is your new, fresh beginning. Maybe because you've realized this, maybe because you see that, maybe because now it's like, wait a second, I actually I have a ton of worth. And now I want someone to show me that I have that worth. Okay, so tell me about this, because I feel like you are absolutely calling in something so soothing, so solid, so profound, something that is equal, something that makes you feel sexy, secure, safe, protected. This is a new beginning. This is like, I feel like maybe you waited your whole life for this. I feel like I don't know. I have this image in my head, maybe because this looks like a shield to me, but I have this image of like a knight riding in, somebody very chivalrous, whether it's a masculine or a feminine, somebody who's going to let you know that you are something special. Wow. You might just cry with the tears of relief from this. You might only just now really be acknowledging how brokenhearted you have been at different points in your life, how much conflict you have endured, how many times you have cried privately or not cried at all, just hid it. This is, when we talk about this new beginning, we're talking about this is the stuff you get to leave behind. I mean, you've known a lot of this from what I can tell. It's a new beginning because you're able to say, and you might even be meeting somebody who they had been treated this way as well. That might be the other reason why we have the equal give and take, and why we're talking so much about, like, are you acting as somebody's sanctuary, or have you acted as people's sanctuaries in the past and now someone's coming in to act as your sanctuary? It may be exactly that, this equality, this equal give and take, this tenderness, this cooperation. It is because you have met someone who knows exactly where you've been, because they've been down that road too. But this is your turn to be understood, to be held, gently and treated. Lovers in the reverse. This is a card of choice. This is the card that says, I don't choose someone else. I choose to release the things from the past that did hurt my heart. That wasn't love. The things that hurt me in the past, that was maybe an act of charity on my part, that I gave someone my love, my attention, my compassion, and they maybe left me wounded, but that wasn't love. And that's why I'm able to walk away from the things that were not really love. There's this huge revelation. This is all about the ace, okay? This is what's changing. Huge revelation that if someone didn't tell me that I mattered, if someone couldn't tell me that they loved me, if someone couldn't show up for me, if they flitted in and out of my life and never gave me stability and only hurt me, I actually know now that that one wasn't love. It was that that person needed to be loved. And that is what I provided for them. I was their emotional ATM. But, that's not where you are anymore. That's not what you're doing anymore. That's not what's even being asked of you anymore. King of Cups, heck yeah. 7 of Cups in the reverse. If you ever wondered, will I ever be like the chosen one? Oh, darling, you are so chosen. This is, I have to be honest, this is not that different from the bonus reading that I put out a little while ago this evening. There was even a King of Cups that showed up in that bonus reading. And I just feel like, and also 7 of Cups showed up a lot in that bonus reading. So I don't know. Oh, and also in the bonus reading, the item that I'm giving away in that bonus reading was a Libra pendant. And so I used totally different deck of cards, but we wound up with a storyline that's a bit similar to this. So you guys might want to check out that other bonus reading. In case I don't remember every detail of it, but I know that there was both of these cards featured in from a different deck. This is somebody who is so ready to give you emotion. Now, I also have to tell you, these seahorses, they mate for life, because this is what you've maybe waited for. This is what you've hoped for. This is what you wanted to call in for yourself. But maybe until this point in time, maybe you didn't know you were allowed to ask for things like this. Maybe you'd gotten so used to being the giver that it's a little awkward for you to receive. And I have to say that because this card in this deck specifically says, with those meerkats, that everyone has a role to play no matter what. So there's no point in being, sad or bitter or feeling left out, because your moment will also come where you get to be the one who's not just here doing the lookout and, helping everyone, but you get to go out and be on the hunt, and you get to experience different things. Even the fact that these meerkats are watching while like other little meerkats are eating, so it's not their turn to eat yet because they're the lookout guys. Your turn to eat is coming. And in this case, we're talking about romance. We're talking about love. We're talking about emotional satisfaction. We're talking about being loved too much. We're talking about somebody who comes in brave, somebody who shows up for you, someone who does not make you feel like you are an option, somebody who has eyes for you and only you. That's what we see with this turning of the tide. But you have to be able to receive that. That could be very foreign, very uncomfortable, because you've not been used to that. You might also feel like, is this real? You know, if you have not been the one to receive emotions before, and you haven't been the one that, you know, people wanted to make sure that you were happy, you might actually feel awkward maybe about it. And I say that only because with that Six of Pentacles, it said you also have to put your pride aside enough to receive. And I don't want to use the word charity, but to receive gifts from others. You know, you give all the time. And even if you're saying, I'm done giving, you still could be awkward about accepting someone who wants to treat you so well. This Devil card, Capricorn energy. There has been a lot of scarring. And if you, when you look in the mirror, if what you see is every hair that's out of place, everything that you don't like, every detail of what you'd like to alter, stop. Don't do that. Don't do that to you. This is what that Devil card is representing. We look in the mirror and what we see is, I don't even want to go out because I don't like the way I look. I don't want to look in the mirror. This is not a true reflection at all. This is what we see in the mirror when we have been wounded and depleted and deprived of emotional warmth and connection. And so when we look in the mirror, we see somebody that is not lovable. We see somebody that, you know, oh, well, I'm sure that my ex cheated on me and played mind games with me because I'm not really attractive. And we can tell ourselves those things in the subconscious, which I think is probably the scariest part to put those thoughts, right? Because those are the ones harder to root out, because we don't necessarily even recognize that we believe those things, but we might. So this card is the warning against that, to make sure that you know, look, if an ex cheated on you, the ex cheated because they wanted to hold on to you, and they were so scared that they'd lose somebody as good as you that they also had to go have an option on the side. The ex wanted to hold on to you and still have someone else because they were lacking, not because you were lacking. You were never unattractive. You were never unfulfilling. They were an unfulfilled individual, and that had nothing to do with you. That's the kind of thing this Devil says, look, don't be afraid to look at the things that maybe hurt us. Why do we feel like I really want a love that's real? I really want something, but I'm afraid to even ask for it, or I don't believe it could be mine. I want someone who has eyes for me and only for me, but I do have to admit that I deserve this. And I have to not see myself in an undeserving light. And this is something to get over. Okay, I'm sorry. You heard my doggy puffing his little soft bark because he wants me to help him get a ball out from under the bed over there. And, well, the couch, actually. But it's like having a 5-year-old. Mama, I need help. Mama's busy. Eight of Wands. This is marvelous. This is all about our changing our inner dialogue, talking nice to ourselves, seeing yourself the way someone else sees you. Of course, you're lovable. Of course, somebody wants that with you. I feel like this whole reading is actually about our self-image. Libra, I feel like this whole reading is about recognizing how beautiful you are, loving yourself, loving your body, loving your looks, loving who you are at the fundamental layer of who you are, so that you can actually say, wait a second, the universe is bringing me in somebody who has eyes for me, only for me, who loves me. And I've been messed around so many times that I secretly think, well, I must not really be lovable, or they won't continue to think that. No, with this new beginning, this is exactly what you have on the horizon. The only barrier to it is knowing that this is the falseness, this ugly, scary thing. That's the ugly, scary monster in the back of our mind that says, yeah, but we're not really good enough. Remember all those people that hurt you. That's what reinforces the idea that we're not really good enough. Nope. This is where we change that dialogue. And I love the fact, look at the color change. We go from these like deeper, darker tones to something almost like, no, gosh darn it, I'm not going to believe in that negative self-talk. This person is telling me otherwise. This person is telling me I'm amazing. This person is telling me I'm lovable. And I know that I am. And I'm going to stand up tall. This is, I look at this almost like the strength card, even though it's the 8 of Wands, just because of that powerful lion. It's almost like you're overcoming that negative self-talk with a burst of frustration that says, no, I'm not going to hide myself away. I'm going to feel comfortable in who I am, feel like I deserve to be loved. And I'm going to actually maybe say these things like positive affirmations out loud. I'm going to tell my own self, especially when I look in the mirror and that little negative voice in the back of my head starts picking myself apart. I'm not taking any of that. I'm going to instead look at myself and be like, oh, I really like, whatever it is, pick something about yourself and tell yourself that, even if it's thanking your body for being so strong, thanking your body for waking up in the morning, thank your eyeballs for having the sight to see, thank yourself for being powerful, for being here. This is good self-image that starts with the way we talk to ourselves, not hiding from ourselves, not insisting that we're not good enough, not saying, well, I just fake my way through life, but really I feel unlovable. This is a significant change. And then we're able to also be more outward and more outgoing and more chatty and more talkative. This is a serious change in the whole vibe. Everything coming off of you is a serious change. Aries, what are you doing, love? No, it's a marvelous energy shift here for you. Despite the fact that that devil is there. The devil is just representing the negative thoughts that got in your head from those past relationships or one past ex or whoever it was that messed with your mind. That is over. You are lovable, you are powerful, and it's time to reconnect with that most, basically with the divine of your own self. I'm going to go back to body image for just a second and say, when we look at our own self and we go, what an amazing body I get to live in. This is a beautiful body. It's where you're saying it not like, man, am I ever the foxiest thing on earth? It's not with ego. It's about like appreciating the divinity that is you and everything that you are, and like really feeling gratitude and knowing that you are a part of this. How do I say it? All of you is a part of this entire life. You have a page of discs, which is like Page of Pentacles in the reverse. This is, I feel like you are holding back just a little bit here from anything that, how do I say this? You've grown and you are already mature beyond. Okay, the pages are the children of the deck, right? So Page of Pentacles is where we offer somebody a little something. It's a little conversation. So we don't reveal a whole lot. It's not super profound. It's it's kind of childlike. It's kind of just small. We're going to bypass that because we're not starting from that little limiting childlike place, because you're a person who's already, every card here has looked so mature, right? Totally mature suitor coming in to go through this kind of like breakdown and rebuilding yourself again speaks of a great deal of maturity. So if you're starting out as such a mature person, you don't have to backtrack and begin by meeting this person and interacting with this person like with hesitancy and be like, well, I don't know, maybe I will text a little bit, maybe I'll see them, but I'm not sure if they're really that interested. Like, we're bypassing the newness of a new connection that's nervous and that's young. We're jumping into something where it's like, this person has eyes for me because they think I'm a hottie. And I'm excited because I want to see where this goes. So it's like, it doesn't mean that it gets oh so serious so fast, but rather that the wobbliness of starting to date somebody or being with somebody new, because I feel like this is all very new. I feel like this is not a story of an ex returning. But you know how it can feel real wobbly when you first meet somebody new and you're like, oh gosh, I'm nervous and I haven't dated in a long time. You're not going to say those words. It's not going to be like, well, I don't really remember how to date. It's been a long time, blah, blah, blah. We bypass all that. That doesn't need to be said. Why? Because we're beyond that. We're already to a point of maturity in this reading. I love the fact that there's none of the nervousness. We go right into a Knight of Cups. It's respect. It's honor. It's something where we skip over the kind of the wobbly baby steps. You know, toddlers, we call them toddlers because they toddle, right? They're not real steady on their little chubby legs. They fall down a lot and they're adorable, but they're little roly-poly bundles, right? That's not where you are in your emotions. You're not a roly-poly little bundle who's unsteady. No. We're a knight. A knight is the kind of dashing, daring, powerful, like that time of our lives where we're probably the strongest athletes. We're like, about 22 years old. So we have, speed, we have agility, we have fast recovery time, we have all of that power. That's where you are jumping into a new emotional connection. This is where you're 10 feet tall, right? You're bulletproof. Nothing is scary. You're going to go ahead and enjoy the excitement of meeting somebody, the excitement of an energetic exchange, the excitement of opening yourself up, getting to know them, feeling sexy, getting dressed up to go out on those dates, having a great time, laughing, being engaging, knowing that this is the time of your life, whatever age you are. That's where you start this romance. That's the significant change. So I feel like this is a new version of you where we aren't even really going into any X's and what happened. We are starting you on the page of this is your time and your turn to really, how do I say it? It's like you're young again. It's like it's your turn to be really wooed and to feel passion and to have it reciprocated and to have a really good time and not overthink it or question someone's motives or feel any of that nervousness. Why? Because first you did that really amazing thing where you decided you love yourself, you like what you see in the mirror. And when those negative thoughts creep in, you squash them. I love this reading so much for my Libras. I feel like this has been a long time getting to this reading. We've had for like a year, we've had tons of X readings, and this one was not an X reading. This was about the growth. I just saw my dog paw come out. He got his tennis ball all by himself. By the way, it's a squeaky one, so this is a good time for me to wrap this up because in probably 3 seconds we're going to hear So you guys, thanks for being with me. Bye.